Hi everyone, welcome to Bernard's Film and TV channel. I hope you're all well. On this little channel we do movie reviews, TV drama reviews, information vlogs and also the odd quiz here and there, so please check out the playlists. Today we have a Netflix film today, so it takes us to the Bronx. Yes, we're going to the Bronx and it's a battle against vampires in the movie cleverly entitled Vampires versus the Bronx. Well, perhaps not too cleverly anyway. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that notification button, making sure you subscribe, please, if you're not. Absolutely fantastic, please. I'm after thumbs ups today as well, please. A thumbs up would be great. I'm aiming for 15. If you can get 15 thumbs ups, great. I mean, I'm sort of... please put the word out for me if you enjoy this, that for other people, to get my subscriber base up. It's growing a little bit quicker at the moment. I'm trying to push it a little bit, but if you like what you see, please put other people in my direction. As I say, I do TV drama reviews and information blogs as well. Right, the movie, yes, Vampires versus the Bronx. It's been being classed as a PG, I think, here in the UK, a PG-13 rating. It's been given generally. 85 minutes, a comedy horror. And it's quite simply about a group of young friends in the Bronx fight to save their neighbourhood from gentrification and vampires. So we have a political aspect to this, where some of the comments from the reviews are mentioning this. I said I'm not interested in the political side of it. I just watched it as pure entertainment, and I can read between the lines, you know, like anything. But I just watched this film to be entertained, and that's how I'm going to review it for you. Directed by Osmani Rodriguez and also written by Osmani Rodriguez, as Oz Rodriguez, he likes to be called, no wonder. The story was by Oz Rodriguez, and Blaise Hemingway did the screenplay for this. A youngish cast, a few old faces as well, not very familiar to me here in the UK, it might be more familiar to you in the US. Stars Jaden Michael, Gerald Jones III and Gregor Diaz the third and fourth, there we go. Trivia, well, some little trivia on this. So we've got a couple of homages to Dracula. We've got the Murnau Enterprises features, which is a nod to F.W. Murnau, who directed Nosferatu, a superb film. You never watched that, get back and watch it, which is considered to be the first vampire film. Brilliant film. We got Frank Polidori, who is the Murnau Enterprises frontman, shares the last name of English novelist John William Polidoro, who penned The Vampire as part of the contest with Mary Shelley, which produced Frankenstein. There's plenty of links here, isn't there? And finally, the symbol for Murnau Enterprises is the image of Vlad III, Vlad the Impaler, the real-life inspiration for the Dracula story. So yeah, so some nice homages there to the source material. The film Blade even features in the movie in a sequence. I think something else may feature as well. Is it I mean, we had a vampire in Brooklyn, didn't we? So we've not vampires being... I did quite like a vampire in Brooklyn, but it only scored 4.6 out of 10 on Internet Movie Database. But I thought it was okay, to be honest with you. I'm going back in time, was it 1995, I think? But so it scored 4.6 out of 10, Vampire in Brooklyn. Well, Internet Movie Database is currently rating this film at 4.7 out of 10, so it's 0.1 better. Anyway, that's based on 543 people who've either left a score or a review. I think there's about 17 reviews have been left, so most people have just left a score and run, to be honest with you. So watching that and looking at the score, to be honest with you, it didn't sort of bode well. Sometimes I try not to look at the score before I watch a film. But obviously, with this one, I did sort of think, that's not a very good score, is it? But then you read between the lines, and I was just having a look at some of the critics' reviews, which I don't really, obviously, I prefer to use the public's opinion, but obviously, as you know, I'll use the critics and have a look, and there's some I respect. And Nick Allen, writing for Roger Ebert, gave it 7.5 out of 10, so it's quite good. He summed it up by saying, originality is missing from the movie, but it has plenty of great jokes and a whole lot of people you enjoy hanging out with. When a horror comedy is as agile, charming and funny as this, everybody wins. So not too bad, was it? Some comments from Joe Public, though. When I look at Joe Public, who obviously give it a score of 4.7 out of 10 on Internet Movie Database. We've got Amari Hargrove, wrote Great Teen Movie, wrote this on the 3rd of October 2020. I enjoyed this movie, could have been a little more longer, but hey, great movie to watch with teen kids or just yourself. I've watched it about 6 times now with my kids, my nephews, nieces, sisters, etc. Really good movie, great job actors and actresses. So Amari Hargrove, yeah, 6 times. I was pushing it a little bit for this, to be honest with you. Another critic or another of the Joe Public critiques said, Attack the Block rip-off. Yes, Ken Anthony on the 3rd of October wrote, if you take Attack the Block and move it to the Bronx and exchange aliens for vampires, you have this movie. Van Macho on the 3rd of October, he commented, he headlined, not bad for a cheesy Halloween movie. Well, we are that time of the year now, aren't we? Basically a Lost Boys for this generation. Most hardcore Lost Boys fans will say this is a cheesy rip-off, not really realising that Lost Boys was cheesy when it came out back in the day. And that's okay. Cheesy movies are good every now and then. So, yeah, I think he was trying to be nice there. Lost Boys in New York City, says the Midnight Crawler on the 2nd of October. He went on to say, while this film is reminiscent of The Lost Boys, the Bronx, New York City setting is what really sets it apart. Light on the horror, but delivers with lots of charm. Phoenix on the 2nd of October wrote, this is a waste of time. I found the film too predictable, reminded me too much of Lost Boys. I mean, there's a theme here, isn't there? Especially when the young boys go hunting. If you're going to do a vampire film or redo one, make it better. Baywood Arbrist just wrote, fun, 2nd of October 2020. It has an amateurish feel, but it's an alright movie. The boys do a good job and it's something you can watch with your kids. It doesn't feel like a film as much as a TV show. So there you go, some interesting comments. A lot of comments on Lost Boys. I think I'll mention Lost Boys for the last time in a moment. Yeah, some okay acting by the very young cast members, complementing some very competent acting from the grown-ups. As I say, not too many familiar faces for me, and it is a pretty polished film in terms of presentation. At times, to me, it almost felt had a Disney Channel feel to it. Fortunately, there's no songs in it, but yeah, it had that sort of family sort of feel to it, even though it's a vampire film. And of course, in a world of modern vampire stuff, I mean, obviously you've had the Vampire Diaries and Twilight and stuff like this. It's perhaps a little unexciting, but for adults who perhaps like to watch these sort of things with the children, I mean, this is it, because the horror's quite mild in this. I wouldn't say it was, it's really over the top. It's very mild horror. So if you do like to just treat the kids for an evening watch with your kids and say, well, we're going to watch a vampire film, then yeah, I think this sort of just about does the job on that basis. There's nothing new or clever, not for me anyway, and there's only really a handful of witty comedy verbal or comedy shots that sort of made me smile or sort of just made me, I won't say laugh out loud, but sort of had an effect on me. So it's just simply like an adventure, a kid's adventure for me, a family adventure vampire story film. And obviously the comparisons to Lost Boys, they don't really sit right for me. I wouldn't say that. Obviously I'm in the minority because quite a few people have mentioned it, but I didn't really see. It is a long time since I've watched the Lost Boys, but from memory it doesn't really feel as though there's that sort of connection. I wouldn't get too carried away with those comparisons, to be honest with you. On its own, not perhaps enough for adults like me on its own, but as I said, for an evening family watch, it's just about worth it. But it is one of those that, apart from that lady who watched it 6 times, it's one of those that once you've seen it, it's probably soon forgotten, and you won't be perhaps going back and watching it time and time again. Your kids might enjoy it, but you certainly, the adults won't. I think the IMDb score of 4.7 is just too low. I think that's a bit unfair, to be honest with you, and I don't really want to give this a watchable 6. I nearly did, but yeah, I'm going to do my sitting on the fence job. I get splinters sometimes, don't I, over these scores, but because it is a polished production, it's okay. I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10 because it just doesn't quite hit the spot when you think of all the ingredients with a good cast and a reasonable budget by the looks of it as well, with the presentation and cinematography, etc. I think could have been a little bit better, so I was a bit disappointed. So I'm only going to give it 5.5 out of 10, which is one of those ratings where I say, yeah, watch if you want to watch it, watch it. Especially with the younger, not young children, but obviously with I would say age group 9 to 14, something like that, might sort of enjoy it, and it's not too scary. It's just a fantasy adventure film about that has little vampires. They're big, but has vampires in it. Yeah, so I'm going to give it 5.5 out of 10. The poster, yeah. I'm not a big fan of posters where an artist has done it. I just like a proper picture, unless it's done really well. So I'm not overly impressed with the poster, so I'll just give the poster the same mark. I wouldn't not have it on my wall if I had copies of it, but it's not fun. I don't think it's that fantastic. So I'm going to give the poster 5.5 out of 10 as well. So it's a draw on the day. Let me know in the comments what you think if you get to watch this. Please check my links on screen, and if you can friend or follow me on Facebook and Twitter, I try and friend and follow everyone back. I do check every couple of days, so I'll do that for you. And please, if you can check out my website, moviegamenostalgia.com, for old rare DVDs, movie posters from the 90s and 2000s, and there's some board games on there as well. That'd be much appreciated. And please just check the playlist. I do little vlogs on my team, my football team here in England at Manchester City. So I do stuff on City's history and City now. So please, if you know anyone who may be interested in that, or if you're interested yourself and you've not had a look at any of those, please check the playlist. There's dozens and dozens of stuff on my favourite football team. Again, that's much appreciated. And if you know someone who might be interested, please give them a push into my direction. And make sure you get them to subscribe as well. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Anyway, thanks for watching today. Whatever you're going to do with the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your family. More importantly, let's all look after each other. And until we meet again on another movie review or TV drama review, information vlog, or even a little quiz, this is Bernard, just please asking everyone to stay safe, everyone. And I'll see you all very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.